Hey comic book fans, this comes to me from Hawaii. This is the, the crazy thing about me is once I get one comic, I can't just like stop. It's like freaking Pringles. But I just got this from eBay. The dude just came. I don't know what time it is. It is 4:39 p.m. And I know some of you are like, wow, we got our mail earlier. Yeah, I know. We're like the last road on his, second to last road on his route, he told me one time. He actually saw me, I was doing some stuff with my G.I. Joes that I found today while cleaning up, and okay, for some reason it's got his address on there. I was like, oh, he has information on here. Oh, that's interesting. I got a little freebie there. So it's Maca Nut Crunch. So it must be like a thing over in the islands. So this is again from Hawaii. All right, so coming out with the comics, coming out hot here. Hopefully they're all bagged and board, but if not, yeah, well, what can you do? I don't usually get comic books off of eBay, but I really wanted this one comic, and he was the cheapest person with the comic, and a lot of people thought it was the original. They were like, oh my gosh, for $3, you better grab it. It was $3 plus $7 shipping. When I got finished, it was about $20 for shipping, so I was like, oop, maybe I went too far. So if you average it out, like if every comic book in here is the same thing, and they're not, some of them are actually a little bit more like $5, $7, you can tell which ones. Then they would be about $4.56 per comic, I think is what it was. So you tell me if I got a good deal or not. And I'll tell you that I know what I got that I wanted for sure. I know I had this comic book back in the day. I remember very clearly this is what started X Factor. This is the reason I actually got my very first subscription to comic books. And it was like the only time I ever did it. But I thought we'd get an advantage, like get it super early or something. But yeah, it came out about the same time as it did on the newsstand, I think. But here's where X Factor started. They found the egg, the cocoon, that when people say Dark Phoenix is Jean Grey, I know it's out of habit. I have to keep correcting. If I correct you, I'm really correcting myself because I don't want to like, no. Dark Phoenix was not Jean Grey. She was a copy. She was a clone of Jean Grey. Jean Grey was actually in a cocoon the whole time under, spoiler alert, she was in a cocoon under I think the Hudson Bay or something. I got all 4 of these, okay, they're all in one bag, so, no, they're not, okay. So all 4 of the Doctor Who, the second of 4, I think this is the very first volume. The artwork tells me it's by the same guy who did Legion of Superheroes after I got out of it. His stuff seems very dystopian, at least for the Legion of Superheroes I read, and I never really, until they started getting the Archie comic book artist, whatever it was, for the Legion of Superheroes, I kind of felt like this was dismal and I didn't want to read it. So I know I'm probably going to regret reading this, but I like Dr. Fate. Oh, and right now, if you go to what's it called? Figure Factory, I think it is, .com. They got Dr. Fate on the card, Mego style, for $20. And I'm like, put it in my basket, because I was already going over there to look for bodies for something project I'm working on for Mego bodies, because he has these really cool Mego-like bodies. Unfortunately, the super articulated bodies are not in all colors. I need some green ones. So anyway, and I'm going to go and get a green one, the green head, because he has a really cool alien head. And when I get it, well, that's a good thing. I don't know. Oh, okay. I do have one of these bodies. I know I'm rambling here. I do have a body. I have the clear one and the glow in the dark one I got a long time ago from him. And I'm going to see if it works on this. Now, this is something I liked the Titans back in the day. This is from 1999, so it's probably going to be too modern, but I vaguely remember reading some of these at one point. This is actually Cyborg. He got some kind of weird liquid metal suit or something. Like, I don't know. And then Tempest is, of course, Aqualad. We got a lot of the originals. I can't remember who she is at all to save my life. And I think this is Wally, because he was the Flash at that time. So it's not the Teen Titans, it's the adult Titans. Yeah, wait a minute. How'd I get 2 of these? Okay, I don't know what he did. I didn't order 2 of them. Alright, I hope I didn't lose a comic. He put one in there twice by mistake. I don't know. All right, I know this is reprints, but it's DC Superstars presents the Teen Titans. I love the old Teen Titans stuff. I have a huge omnibus, I think they call it, that's what they call it. But I hate reading big old books. I'd rather read the ones that are floppies. So does it tell you where this is a reprint? Copyright National? No. I'm sure I can find it online. It'll tell me like these are copied from Teen Titans number 14, whatever. But this is about the closest I'm going to be able to afford it. I think this one is actually a $4 book instead of a $3 book. Look at this. New Teen Titans were the hottest thing back in the early 80s, and they were everywhere, and they were in Wonder Woman. So I kind of want to go back and read them and then read all the crossover issues. So I grabbed this one. I think I got another one here, Action Comics, where it's both them and... I'm getting dry. Both them and Justice League of America. But that's going to be a fun read right there. These are all really good. I'm really stoked about this. Really old Justice League of America. Now, I loved Justice League of America. He had a bunch of them that I already had and have. I've had some of these since I was a kid. This one I've never even seen before. But it's got Dr. Light. And, yeah, this is going to be great to read. Karate Kid. When I was a kid, I thought it said Carrot Kid. And my mom never corrected me because I don't think she cares. She's like, And my dad was never around, so it didn't matter. So, yeah, the Karate Kid, I had like number 7 or something. And I thought he was the coolest guy ever. I was like, whoa, he's Carrot Kid. And that made me like, maybe I should start eating my carrots so I can kick butt. It's a Mike Grail cover. That's pretty cool. But now I'll find out why the heck was he even in our timeline. Like I was like, after I got that, I was reading Legion of Superheroes. I was like, wait a minute, he's in the Legion in the future. Why is he in our timeline? You know, never knew. This comic, I clearly remember where I got this at. So during the 5th grade, my dad lived in an apartment until he started building a house anyway. So there was a yard sale. It was in an apartment complex, but they have like these little patches of green grass out in the front of the yard. So there was a yard sale, and one Saturday morning, I was walking down to the, I like to walk down to the corner to get comic books at the gas station and get comic books and whatever off the spinner rack. And I stopped at the flea market at the yard sale, and I saw this. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a Batwoman, and I think there's also a Batgirl in here. I was shocked, but it was obviously not the original. I think I got like for 5 cents when I was a kid. This one was the one that made me buy all of this, really, because instead of paying $10 for one issue, I ended up paying like $70 to something. But hey, it's only $4.56 instead of $10 per comic. Now you think about it. But yeah, I want to read this now. I probably read it as a kid, but what could I understand? I was in 5th grade. Although I do remember quite a lot from 5th grade. I probably didn't get any of the little jokes in the back because like some of these jokes are like, it's late, and I'm like, I don't understand, why does it matter if it's late? Because he's guarding his daughter. Oh man, look at this. This is so awesome. And I always thought it was really cool. When I saw that bat on his chest, I was like, that's cool. That's Earth 2 Batman. I think I understood at the time that the Earth 2 were our really golden age, but I thought I got a gem right here. I was like, oh my gosh, it's the old comic. I'm still happy with that. That's my favorite thing on here. And you might be thinking, it's all beat up and it's got a spine coil and it's got a rusted staple right there. I don't care. As long as it smells like an old comic. It doesn't smell like pee. It doesn't smell like puke. It doesn't smell like anything like that. So I'm fine. Oh, look at Red Tornado. He's going to pieces. We brought the Red Tornado back to life, only to kill him again. Look at that robot. Is that Computro, whatever his name is, from a double-link spectacular starring the world's greatest superheroes. Number 146. You could be in the Superman movie. All right. Oh man. Here's the other one with the Teen Titans in it. See, Teen Titans, Justice League, Superman, of course, who's part of the Justice League. So it's special guest stars, Justice League of America, and the new Teen Titans. See, I told you they're everywhere back in the 80s. This was the newest, hottest thing, and they even crossed over with the hottest thing in Marvel, which is the all-new X-Men. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun read. All these are gonna be fun reads. I'm just so stoked. Except I'm like, the only thing I'm like a little worried about is Dr. Fate. I'm like, Dr. Fate. I mean, I love Dr. Fate, but it's just like the artist. It gives me PTSD from whenever I was like, ugh, he ruined the Legion for me. And I know a lot of you are like, hey, he didn't ruin it. Maybe you have a different sense of humor or whatever. and all new. And of course, I read that back in. I remember reading in the 80s thinking it's lost its charm. I mean, 70s Legion of Superheroes was awesome, and then somewhere around the Crisis on Infinite Earths, it just lost its charm to me. And I was also, a teenager, so who knows why. Adam, Mayday. Who's Mayday? Which one's she? Red alert for Earth. Aquaman, emergency, we need you here now. SOS, elongated man, why don't you answer? Probably because they're all busy right now. Love that dark pink, man. That is hot. Hot pink. That is a Buckler and Abel. Don't know it. Ugh, mosquitoes. You know, people are like, oh, cold weather's coming. No more mosquitoes. I wish I could say the same. They're like coming out again. All right. A double link thriller. Another Justice League of America, number 140, man. I have the ones, like, this is filling in some gaps for me, actually, because the one where all the women took up, like, basically fought all the men. Come on, Justice Leaguers. We've got to rescue Green Lantern. No, let Manhunter take me. I'm guilty of the most dreadful crime. And that pink running into the black is guilty of a person not paying attention with the wheel there. The most dreadful crime in the universe. He did that. He forgot to put down the toilet seat. I guarantee you. A new double-length thriller. And then here's one of the ones that was like the most expensive by itself. But it's a reprint. I know what you're saying. Like, you thought you said you liked single. Hey, if I can afford the single issues of the first 5 of these. Now, they did a reprint. It had to be before, like, around 1980, because I remember getting it at the flea market up there beside Sky City. I remember Shannon Leonard, oops, I shouldn't say last names. Shannon and I were bicycling one day, because, you know, when school was out, we bicycled up to town. It was like about 2-3 miles away at that time, where I lived. And we would bike up there, and I remember going to the flea market. I remember they had cassette tapes that were bootlegs for like $2 to $4, depends on the group or whatever. And I would always go through their comic books, and they had number 1, reprint, obviously. I don't remember what kind of reprint. Like, is it Marvel Gold something? I don't know. I just remember it was clearly like Marvel Commemorative Series or something. It was like clearly written on the front that it was clearly a reprint. So I definitely have read number 1. I feel like I've read some of these also, but that could have been, I don't know now. I think about it. I remember the first time the Eunice comics, and I think they did it. Oh, that's where it was. Amazing Adventures. They did reprints of them for a while, and the one with Eunice, I remember very clear. Eunice, whatever his name was, he couldn't be touched, literally. I remember that issue, but I think that was like number 17 or something, so it may not be in here. I remember when he was trying to sit down, he couldn't even get a chair. He was losing his mind because he was a wrestler. It was something like Eunice the Untouchable. That was one of the other ones I had. That was a reprint. And I think it was from Amazing Adventures, now I think about it, because they were doing reprints for a while. But I don't think that X-Men one I got, number 1, it may have been Amazing Adventures. I don't know. Bug? Hey, they just love to fly all over the place. All right, so I just wanted to share that with you guys because I am very stoked about these. A lot of good stuff here. I know this is going to be like a corn fest of reading that, but I'm just still, it's still something that I like to go back and look at. I can't believe I've never read this. It feels like I've seen this picture before, though. But, you know, when I was a kid, I only got $5 a week allowance, and when comics went up to 60 cents, I really cut back on how many comics I can get a week. Well, that's like 8 comics. I had to cut 2 comic books per week. So, yeah. This was before I even had an allowance or even thought about allowances. This is like my child, like early, like this is the kind of stuff I'd get at flea markets because it was before I even knew what a newsstand was. 1977. So during that time, the only comic books I got retail, there was no newsstand that I was aware of at that time. It was from Kmart and Zare, and they were always 3-packs, and it was mostly Marvel stuff, I think. Oh, no. There was always Whitman ones for DC. But nothing like this. This is clearly different. And okay, you already know about that one and that one. So yeah, we got some really cool stuff. All right, so which one's your favorite? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm stoked about all of these, especially this is the one that got me through my little foot in the door for this amazing collection of comics that I bought. So do you think these are worth $4.56 each? I know a lot of you are like, no, it's like there's a wrinkle there and there's a spine roll here. And it's like, okay, I'm here to read it and to enjoy it. And look, this to me is beautiful. Spine roll, ticks, you know, everything, because that says to me that this thing was loved. It wasn't just somebody bought it to put it in a bag and put it away for a rainy day, you know, maybe make $1 million off it one day. Because I did have a spell in my life where I was buying comic books just because one day they'll be worth millions of dollars. Oh, it's a #1. Oh, I better buy it and never read it. And those are the comic books, you know, like, what was it, Conquerors of the Earth or something? That was a 6-issue series. Never read it. There was another series. I remember it was a 6-issue series. I thought, oh, it's going to be worth a lot. Never read it. It was worthless. Oh, well. But these show you they were loved. All right, y'all have a great day. Again, comment below which one's your favorite. And I wonder why I got 2 of that. I need to contact them and let them know, because I don't know. It makes me wonder, like, is one of them got he at the last minute saw it was torn on the back? Oh my gosh, all over the back heads. These look great condition, actually. So I don't know if he just decided to throw an extra one in, like he threw that other thing in. He felt like, oh, you know, you're a good customer. I don't know, though. I don't want 2 of the same thing, but whatever. I'll find out. I'll go email him after I check to make sure everything's in here. Sometimes I get carried away like little clown arounds, and then I found out, hey, I didn't get Superman clown, and then he sent it separately later. All right, thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. I thank you guys so much for watching my videos and commenting below. It really brightens up my day when I get comments, because sometimes I don't get comments, and I'm like going, you know, it's starting to get colder and starting to feel like, what am I doing? But thanks for those people who leave comments. That just makes my day. I can't tell you how much blessed I am to hear comments from you guys. All right, good ones. All right, have a great day. Bye.